Maybe you're too wookie. You know, it is our culture.
Yeah, yeah.
It is in our culture. The other day I was talking about Ehikhamen. Somebody say he's a Christian, don't do Ehikhamen. That's where those things deprive you your progress. So this woman refused to do those uki, refused because she was an honorable, because she believed in Christendom. She did not do it. Till today, that woman is barren. She don't have baby. But to God, for them now, they believe in IVF. They can go and get IVF and do. But it's still, most of them still have problem. So number one is that we are losing our values. We are losing our roots. We are losing ethics. Because omo na bia wesa, ekewe always san pataki mehi. Esa blood flow in us. So esa no riri mahi. Ma hagbesa mwesa. Now, the last time we had an interview, we were talking about kidnapping. Today we've lost our core values. There are some things. Those days my brother was talking. He said, "I'm wikpe, I can wikpe." You understand what I mean by ikpe now? You don't know. In Nakpoma we call it ikpe. When you lack rain, the women come out naked.
Okay, yeah.
And go the street and walk, and rain will surely fall. I can wikpe. Oko aye gbudu abaye troso oko na lada gbare na do mu pegbe yan oko ni no kire kan pa wewe abi ni no oni amu pegbe amewo yero eri ajere oko nu troso pa wewe oko esan pa agbon na dede okpa arobo soku oya tata culture because they see dirty. But these days you can imagine an Asian woman going to the bed, opening up for a man, other man to touch her. But in ancient days, I always say one thing. Our forefathers were not having primary education. They were not well lettered. But they know what is dirtiness. For another man to touch you, hold on you, is dirty. For another man to touch your waist, I'm already involving the taboos in this now. Because it's part of our culture. Because I said earlier, culture because tradition. Your culture because who you are. In some places now they marry themselves. In this now we can't marry ourselves. In me, I'm from Dumera in Nemadu. In Uwelebo, I can't marry them because they believe we all came from Uwelebo to settle down in Nemadu. So we are brothers.
Okay. Linked by blood.
By blood, especially. That is the Esan blood. That's the word. In Esan, we are all linked by blood. The other time I was talking about Okoven, there's a lot to talk. So the culture in Esan has to do with your ways of life. Now, I said earlier, when we come to the society, we've been dwell the family, you now come to the society. Those days, if you steal, my mom is from Dumia in Nemadu. When you have something you are selling in your basket, you don't need to be there. Just can stone and put it there. When people come, they will count the stone, they know how much they are going to put there. Your money will be intact. Nobody was there. That is trust.
Trust was there.
That is fear. Because you don't need to see God before you fear God. But the Christian don't believe you need to see God before you know. In Esan culture, we don't see God before we fear God because we believe there is somebody somewhere looking at you. So when you so when you get there, Osenobwa, Ohodwa, they're named for God. Ogena, there's a lot of names. So they believe Osenobwa, Ohodwa, Rejesu, Norena. So when they get there, the fear of God, they count the money and put it. The fear of God, they don't touch somebody else's wife. The fear of God, they don't do evil to their brothers. But today we've lost the fear of God. We've lost, that's ethics. And these are values, these are culture. Because Esan culture has to do with our tradition. See, I always tell people, you can't take your tradition and culture out of each other. They are interwoven.
Yeah.
They are into each other. So an Hausa man knows what he does as an Hausa man. An Igbo man knows his culture as an Igbo man. There might be similarity in some of our culture because we are Africans.
Yeah. On the long run, yeah.
There might be similarity. But that similarity, some are more archaic. Like in Nesa culture, if we still follow our culture are archaic, old school, our forefather. But these days we are trying to remold them to suit our individual greed. Our individual greed. That's what is happening in Eastern society. So because of greed, we lost culture. Those days, when you brought issues to the elders, because they feared tradition, they followed culture to the latter. But today, when they give them money, they try to waive the culture, to bend the tradition.